Good morning, children. So, as I said, we have got two lessons in the unit test. Okay, so today let's revise the poem A Day. Now, this poem is written by Emily Elizabeth Dickinson in from 1830 to 1886. She was an American speaker. Dickinson lived much of her life in reclusive isolation. While she was a prolific private speaker, fewer than a dozen of her nearly 1,800 poems were published during her lifetime. Her poems are unique for the era in which she wrote. They contain short lines, typically lack titles, and often use slant rhyme as well as unconventional capitalism and punctuation. Many of her poems deal with themes of death and immortality. So, the poetess of this poem is Emily Elizabeth Dickinson. Now, here is a summary of the poem. Children, you've already done this in the month of May. Okay, so here is a summary of this poem. The poem can be divided in two halves, an 8-line section describing the sunrise and an 8-line section describing the speaker's lack of knowledge of the sunset. Okay, so the poem here is divided into two parts. The first section is describing the sunrise, and the next one describes the poetess' lack of knowledge of sunset. In this poem, Emily describes the sunset and sunrise as a village and the things in that village. But the poem also describes the difficulties of recognizing the world around us. So, in this poem, the poetess Emily describes the sunset as well as sunrise as a village and all the things that can be seen in that village. Here in this poem, the poetess also talks about the difficulties of recognizing the world around us. That is, see, now there are many times since we all live in a world where all of us are very, very busy. There are times when we fail to say notice or observe the beauty of nature around us. The sunrise is described in terms of a small village with church steeples, town news, and ladies' bonnets. So here, the poetess describes the sunrise, say in terms of a small village, how the sun rises in this village, and she also talks about the how the sun rises, the way the rays of the sun strike the steeples, the church steeples, and about the news in the town, and also of ladies' bonnets. The sunset, on the other hand, is characterized as a gathering comb of a flock. So, now as the sun sets, now all of you might be just think of a rural, setting where you find as soon as the sun sets, you find shepherds are seen to gather the flock of sheep and even cows, etc., and take them, can be seen uh, walking with them towards their homes. In this poem, she probes nature's mysteries through the lens of the rising and the setting sun. Emily begins by emphasizing that she's going to tell her audience how the sun rose. So here she emphasizes, she says that she's actually going to tell the readers about how the sun rose. That is, here she's going to talk about how the sun rose. She symbolically compares the sun's rays to ribbons that are let loose one at a time. So the rays of the sun here, she compares to ribbons that are let loose just one at a time. The colorful rays slowly untangle over the ocean where the church steeples seem to swim in amethyst. Okay, so the rays of the sun slowly untangle over the ocean where the church steeples seem to swim in amethyst. Here, the church steeples swim seem to swim in amethyst. As the bright fire of the sun appears, the darkened blackness of first turns blue before taking on its brightness in the full glow of the sun. So, as the sun slowly begins to appear, find darkness, moves, darkness slowly, moves back, and the sky first turns blue before the sun can be seen in its full glory. Then suddenly the sun's appearance spreads quickly. After that, of course, as the sun's rays of the sun can be seen in the sky, you find it starts spreading through the entire sky. Then suddenly the sun's appears appearance spreads quickly. Emily then tells us how the entire nature is waking up and the color can be seen as far away as the hills. So, as the sun, begins to rise along the east, you find entire nature slowly starts waking up and the rays of the sun seems to pervade even far away into the hills while the birds have started to sing. So, all of you are quite familiar with this, of course. Early in the morning, as the sun begins to rise, you can hear the birds. They also wake up. The cocks can be heard crowing, and also the crows and all the other birds have all started waking up. You can hear the birds singing. Emily then emphasizes in a surprise musing that must have been the sun. So, as soon as she finds that, the birds have started, singing, she emphasizes, of course, she just, in her, of course, surprise musing, she says, of course, that has to be the sun. It seems as if she was seeing it for the first time and wondering at the effect the May rising of the sun has had on all that she sees. Okay, so here she is experiencing the beauty of nature. She talks to us about the effect that is produced on all things in nature when the sun rises. Though, when she says that, but how he said, I know not, leads the readers to some drama and ambiguity about her thoughts. Of course, she later on, when she goes on to say that, how the sun sets, I know not. That is, she doesn't know how the sun set. Okay, so it leads readers to some drama and ambiguity about her thoughts. Because on one side, she's talking about the effect that the rising sun has on all things in nature. And on the other hand, she's also talking about the, she's also talking about the fact that she doesn't know how the sun sets. It seemed to her that as the sun set, she saw a purple stile where little yellow boys and girls were climbing. So, to her, she imagines that as the sun begins to set, she can see a purple stile, okay, where little yellow boys and girls, so little boys and girls are climbing over the purple stile. She sees children climbing over a barrier, possibly going home after a day of tending sheep, or perhaps simply on their way home for school. So she sees children climbing over the barrier. Could be she imagines that the children would have, you know, would be going home after, say, tending the sheep, or could be that they are on their way home from school. After climbing the stile, the children finally reach the other side, which signs the lowest point of the sun before it disappears to rise again in the other world. So, here the poetess says that after the children have climbed the stile, they reach the other side. Okay, and the other side, of course, is the horizon where the sun is setting. Okay, which signs the lowest point of the sun before it disappears to rise again in the other world. So it again is a new day. Again, the sun rises in some other part of the world. And what causes the sun to finally disappear is that a cleric, or perhaps even a householder shepherd, closes a gate and leads away the flock of children, or perhaps sheep. So here the poetess wonders. She says, what is it actually that is causing the sun to finally disappear? It could have been a cleric, okay, a clergyman, or it could even be a shepherd, a household shepherd who's closing the gate and leading the flock of children, or perhaps sheep. So it could be either children that he's leading, or it could be even sheep. At this point, the speaker would be in darkness and have no idea what happens next. So after this, of course, as the poetess says, it is, the sun has set, and it is again the sun rises in some other part of the world. Okay, children? So this is the summary of the poem A Day. So here is a poem. I'll just read the poem for you, and we'll do, we'll have an extract and do a passage extract, and we'll do some questions from the poem. Okay? Now, I'll tell you how the sun rose, a ribbon at a time. The steeples swarm in amethyst. The news like squirrels ran. So the hills untied their bonnets, the bobolinks begun. Then I said softly to myself, that must have been the sun. Okay, so here the poetess says, I'll tell you how the sun rose, a ribbon at a time. So slowly the sun is rising, and it seems as if the rays of the sun are coming one after the other very, very slowly. The steeples swam in amethyst. Okay, so that's a purple color. Okay, amethyst, purple, amethyst is actually stone, but here the steeples can be seen swimming in blue color. Okay, that is the color of the sky. The news like squirrels ran, that is the news that the sun is rising, you know like here the news is compared to squirrels, and the news that the sun has risen spread far and wide. The hills untied their bonnets, the bobolinks begun. Then I said softly to myself, that must have been the sun. So why does she say softly? Could be that she's standing there all alone. So she says, looking at all the things, slowly, changing in nature. She said to herself, yes, that must have been the sun. So bobolinks are a species of, singing birds. But how he set I know not. They seemed a purple style, which little yellow boys and girls were climbing all the while. Till when they reached the other side, a dominie in grey put gently up the evening bars and led this flock away. Okay, so children, this is a poem. I think you have understood the poem. Here, you know, I'm going to take two stanzas from here and will answer some questions here. Okay, children? Now, so your stanza begins here. But how he said, I know not, till flock away. Okay, so look at that. But how he said, I know not. I've taken from here till and let the flock away. Okay, so we end it with flock away. Let's look at the question. Now, look at the question here. What is it that the speaker doesn't know? Okay, let's go back to the stanza. But how he said, I know not. There seemed a purple style, which little yellow boys and girls were climbing all the while. Let's go to the question here. What is it that the speaker doesn't know? Okay, so there's the same type that you're going to get in your unit test, children. Okay, so here you have choices. Okay, and you're going to just click on the right answer. Okay, so the speaker doesn't know. Okay, how the bobolinks sing, how the sun sets, how the sun rises. So your question is, what is it the speaker doesn't know? How the sun sets. Okay, so you are going to click on the right answer. You're going to click on B. Is that clear? Now, second one. Who was climbing the purple stile? Okay, go back to the stanza. Okay, look at that. Which they seemed a purple stile, which little yellow boys and girls were climbing all the while. Okay, go back to the question here. Who was climbing the purple stile? Boys were climbing the purple stile, girls were climbing the purple stile, or boys and girls were climbing the purple stile. So what's the answer, children? Is it boys or only girls or both boys and girls? So your answer is C. Okay, so your answer is C. Click on C. The correct answer is C. So boys and girls were climbing the purple stile. Now, third one, look at that. Who was guiding the children? Okay, let's go back again. Now, look at this. Till when they reached the other side, a dominie in grey put gently up the evening bars and led the flock away. So, who was leading the children? A dominie in grey. So, your answer, a dominie in grey was guiding the children. Nobody guided the children. The sun guided the children. So, which is the right answer, children? Yes, a dominie in grey was guiding the children. So, click on a dominie. Is that clear, children? Yes. Next one. Next one. What does flock refer to in this stanza? Okay, so flock refers to the boys and girls or the bobolinks. So what is it? Here, the flock can mean, yes, either the boys and girls or bobolinks. Yes, it is boys and girls. So the correct answer, you're going to click here, is boys and girls. Is that clear? Okay. So click on the right answer, that is Bobo. Links or the boys and girls, which is it? Yes, it is the boys and girls. Now, next one. What is the rhyme scheme of these two stanzas? Let's go back, children. Now, see, look at that. But how he set I know not. Okay. There seemed a purple style. Okay. Not, we give it as A. Then style, we give it as B. Next, look at that. Which little boys, yellow boys and girls, were climbing all the while. So, girls will give C. Then again, while. Since it rhymes with style, we are going to give that as B. So, what is the rhyming scheme? A, B, C, B. So what is it? A, B, C, B. Let's look at the next stanza. Till when they reach the other side, we give that as A dominie in grey, let us give it as B. Third one, put gently up the evening bars. It doesn't rhyme with any of these, so we give it as C. And led the flock away. So, since grey rhymes with away, we'll give it as B. So, it is A, B, C, B. So, the rhyming scheme is A, B, C, B. Now, children, suppose you are going to get rhyming words. So, which are the words which rhyme? Here, style rhymes with while, okay, and grey rhymes with away. So, here again, in these two stanzas, we've got rhyming words like style, while, grey, and away. Okay, so let's come to the question. What is the rhyming scheme of these two stanzas? The rhyming scheme of these two stanzas are, okay, A, B, C, B, A, B, C, A, B, B, C. So, since we have seen that, what's the answer? That is A, B, C, B. So let's click on A, B, C, B. So children, in your unit test exam, you're going to get the same type of questions. You're just going to click on the right answer. You don't have to write anything. And remember, please go through these lessons very, very carefully. You'll be able to do very well, children. Okay, so all the best. Go through your lessons very well and best of luck, children. Thank you.